the positive side of being an entrepreneur. The downside is, you could have a really bad idea and you're really resilient and you've got this vision and no one cares.
What do you think is the most important aspect of an entrepreneur?
I would say resiliency, because and this isn't about being a female or male or anything. It's just you're going to be told no so many times. You're going to have so many challenges that you didn't anticipate. There's so many reasons to quit. And if you don't have this attitude like, oh no, I'm going to fix this and I've got this and we'll figure it out. And yeah, that's not, it's sort of, we've got this. It's sort of, I don't know if you ever a Monty Python fan, but when they meet in the woods and the guy cuts his arm off and he's like, oh, that's just a little wound. His blood's gushing. And he's still got one arm. And then they cut off the other arm, and then the legs. And he's like, comes back. He says, come here. I'll eat, I'll bite you to death. And it's sort of like, you have to have that mentality, he's like, all right, so now I can't go that route. I'll go this route. And I also, you combine that with vision, and it's pretty powerful. And that's the positive side of being an entrepreneur. The downside is, you could have a really bad idea and you're really resilient and you've got this vision and no one cares. So I would say if you just go with resiliency first, vision is also really important. But then also you have to have this genetic part of you that says, I'm not going to believe my own PR. So I know what I'm doing is great. I believe it can be huge. I'm going to overcome every obstacle. Then part of you has to say, but what if I'm wrong? Let me see what I'm wrong at. And then you test yourself. You don't believe your own BS, really. You just say, okay, I could be wrong. Let me test this. I could be wrong. Let me test this. And you could be directionally right and tactically wrong. And if you don't have that mindset, you could fail. So, for example, when I got started, there were a lot of companies that got funded all along the same time in the re-commerce and actually in resale. And almost all of them are dead or the walking dead. And so why is that? Why did we pull out versus others? My theory is they weren't testing their assumptions. And it's not, I would say, especially in some businesses, it's pretty easy to get to $10 million, but it's hard to grow a business to $1 billion, which is what we were at last year. And so how do you get there? You test your way. Like, I could be right on this. I could be wrong. Let's test your way. Okay, that worked. Now let's put process to expand it. I could look at their businesses and tell them where they're going to fail. And that's just experience. But I mean, first of all, no one asked me. And B, they were getting money at higher valuations than I was. So I wasn't going to help them out anyway. But I think that we would have had more competition and bigger struggle because the money would have gone to the men in the business. So you think of I think about 6 resale companies got funded within probably 6 months of each other. And I was the only female entrepreneur. Other people have a female co-founder, but I was the only female entrepreneur and founder. And we could have been wiped out because they were raising more money at bigger valuations. And they didn't succeed.